Welcome to episode 2 of Sounds of Valhalla. I'm Nico,
I'm Noah.
and today we're going to be talking about something huge that happened earlier this morning. Bethesda, Zeinmax and Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft, and this is fucking huge. This is big. This is big plays, boys. Big plays.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a bold move on Microsoft's standpoint. So,
Yep.
I
So
guess
what do
we
we
should probably just jump right into it. I mean, today's Monday's September 21st, and Zenimax Media, which is obviously includes Bethesda Software publisher, they're acquired by Microsoft for $7.5 billion, which is no small feat. I think that's the biggest, like the largest transaction for gaming that has been done by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like as a total.
I was gonna say, it's crazy, and 7.5 billion. That's like chump change.
Yeah.
Because the amount of fucking money they're gonna be making off of this is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be awesome. So I guess now that we got the premise of what happened, today, the biggest thing that is crazy is because they announced it today, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'll double check. The marketing strategy, it's fucking crazy, is that the Xbox pre-orders are tomorrow. That's when you can start the pre-orders. So for them to release this information the day before the pre-orders start it's mind-blowing.
It's like it's honestly like
such a good idea.
That's like exactly that was like what we were talking about this morning. Like that is such an amazing business move, I feel.
Yes.
To drop this giant bomb, and it's just like it literally just like gets people going to the point where it's like, oh, maybe I should get an Xbox. I mean, for all the other reasons other than the Xbox Series X has already been like cited as being like a stronger like system than the PS5 will be. Like this almost kind of like this will definitely make some heads turn and make people think about, maybe I should go to Xbox then if they're gonna have these. I mean, and we'll get into like the possibility, the unlikely possibility of them becoming exclusive title to Xbox.
And that's like the thing, because as of right now, people have no idea. Like, is it going to be exclusive? Like, I don't know. Do I really want to take that chance? Like,
right,
how?
Exactly.
Like, how? Well, what Microsoft is basically, in my opinion, what they're doing is they're like, how much do you really love this?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do you love it enough to where you're willing to take that chance that we're not gonna have it be exclusive, or like?
And I'm pretty sure if I didn't I read this morning, trying to do a little bit more research on just Elder Scrolls, like personally, I'm pretty sure Elder Scrolls is the highest like selling like game series, and not like individual games.
Yeah,
that's Minecraft
series,
is the individual game. But it's series of all time. So
100%,
again,
like,
this happening the day before these console releases, like this was just like such a prime business move.
It's fucking alphas right there. They know how to run. They know how to run this shit, and like is just what I found. Smart. I was like, oh, bro, like damn. And I was scrolling through some shit before I went to work, and I happened to go on TikTok, and there was a video of, I guess it was like some Harry Potter game or something, and they were making it seem like it was going to be a PlayStation exclusive. And one of the comments that I seen was, it says, Xbox players and their car racing exclusive games, and there was like a shocked like emote face. And then under that, it said PlayStation players when they find out that Microsoft bought ZeniMax / Bethesda. Shocked face.
Exactly.
I was like, bro, yeah, it's like that's exactly, like, you can't talk shit. You like, Sony is, man, like, Xbox out here making plays. Like, I don't think people understand the like, where they can go from this. They can this has opened up so many opportunities.
Yep, like, exactly. Like, so many doors have been opened just by this deal alone, because I mean, obviously over the last few years They bought out a number of companies. One of the bigger ones, like known ones, have been like Obsidian. So it's like they're buying these publishers up and these developers, and they're really just like kind of cornering the market in a way. So it's like they talked about they don't really want exclusivity, which I guess we can get into the point about like the possibility of Microsoft being a Microsoft only game for Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, et cetera, and all those kind of games. I don't see that happening. Just because based on what Microsoft has said, they don't want competition with Sony. They really are trying to get away from exclusives overall.
I was gonna say because like first off, prime example is Minecraft. Minecraft is a really big game. If they wanted to say they bought Minecraft, they could have said fuck you, you know.
Exactly.
But they want that money. That's what it is. They don't care. Sony, I believe Sony didn't want to do crossplay on Modern Warfare because they didn't want to do crossplay with Xbox, if I'm not mistaken. At first, they weren't going to do it. But obviously they ended up doing it. And it's like, from my standpoint, it's Sony is the one that doesn't want anything to do with the other.
Yeah, exactly. Like from the outsider like view of it, and obviously I haven't read any articles or anything about it or like research it, but it seems that like Sony is trying to distance themselves from Microsoft.
Yes.
And Microsoft is more just like no, like we just want our games. We want to own everything, but we want everything like to be all on all the other platforms. And that was like the biggest thing, obviously, with Minecraft, best-selling game of all time. Like they made it a point that we don't want this to be an exclusive only to Microsoft.
Like to be fair, the one thing that they did with Minecraft, and it's understandable and it's good that they did it, is that it's like I believe it's like with modern Call of Duty, how Call of Duty used to be like first month exclusive to Xbox. Meaning you got all DLC like a month before.
I do remember
else.
that. Yep, that was huge for Call of Duty.
And
then, get it 30 days
and
before.
then they lost that contract, Xbox did, and PlayStation got it. And what I'm saying is I believe with Minecraft what they did was they have the Bedrock edition only for Xbox and Windows. And PlayStation just has the basic Minecraft. And so they still have Minecraft, but Microsoft and their like products that they own have the better, more updated version of it. So what I'm saying is like, so you can play it on both, but you still have more. You have more if you play it on our product, basically. Is what they're
exactly.
trying to do.
It's like a little bit of incentive.
Really good, Yeah, exactly. They're not saying you have to buy ours to play it, but if you do, you're gonna have a better time.
Right. So yeah, I mean, just to end, just to round that point out and just end it. Really, it's just. I mean, Microsoft, like I said, they don't want to be competitive. That's that was their whole point. So like when it seems like when they're buying up all these companies and these developers and these publishers, they really are just wanting to put their name on things and then open them up. Because I'm pretty sure, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't even know if you would know, but oh Jesus, what is it? The zombie game, State of Decay. State of Decay 2.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that is no longer. It might be Microsoft exclusive, but I'm not sure it is anymore.
It currently is.
Okay, but that's something where I can see in the future for the third game. I mean, if they're going to be coming out with one, which I imagine they would.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a Microsoft exclusive anymore.
Yes, because they started to do. Obviously, not all Microsoft games are like ported over to the computer.
Right, exactly.
But they started recently doing that, and one of the games was State of Decay. So I can see like them kind of like testing grounds maybe to see if it's gonna, how it will do, how a port will do, because then they'll port it to like, other consoles maybe.
And I've played the first State of Decay and second State of Decay on PC, and they run well. I mean, obviously, I use a controller personally, but I mean, I've played them. I remember playing State of Decay 1 on the 360, and it's pretty much seamless when it comes to the controller use and like configuration, and just the gameplay overall is it's well ported. Like it's a very you can tell they took their time with the port.
And I think wow, what was I gonna say? I can't think of it. It was something to do with PlayStation and so that's what it was. Like I said, so I think they're Microsoft. Let's be honest, they're all about that money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what they're doing is, like I said earlier, is they're not saying it's gonna be exclusive, and they're not saying
exactly, yeah.
Because then with that, if they do it that way, they can get the people who are true fans of like a series but don't want to miss out on it,
Yep.
Like, hey, I'll buy this. And then you got the people who are just fans of it, and they're like, oh, well, no biggie. And then they'll just still buy the PlayStation, and then they can just release it on the PlayStation, thus still getting the money from them, and just... So I definitely think, honestly, they just bought it, So we'll see where things go from there.
Right, exactly.
And then, yep.
Yeah, so I guess just going on from that, just want to kind of touch quickly on the possibility of other companies like in the future getting bought out, and that's like Ubisoft, EA, Take-Two Interactive. Those are the guys that own Rockstar Games and 2K, possibly being acquired by or absorbed by Microsoft in the future. I don't know if it's something. I don't think it's something that's going to happen in the near future. I think it's something though that within the next possibly 10-15 years, we could definitely see, I feel like a lot more companies are going to come into Microsoft's fold just because they have the money to pay them.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. When I said that this was such a big move and it has opened up a world of possibilities for them, I meant as in the aspect of money-wise.
Exactly.
Bethesda Zeinmax is ESO I know isn't the biggest, but ESO, Skyrim, Fallout, Dishonored, Doom, Wolfenstein. I mean, some of the biggest single player.
Right, and they're always the most anticipated games. Too. It's like Bethesda always has the most anticipated game, even if they're games that don't do quote unquote well. Like Prey and stuff like that. Like these are amazing games. Like if you actually sat down and played these games, like these are games that are very much hyped, and a lot of people are looking forward to playing, even if they don't get the exposure of games like, Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
And the sheer amount of money that they will make from these games is crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Exactly.
So not only are they racking in money from Minecraft, they're racking in money from Bethesda Zenimax games. They're racking in money from people who are building computers, buying Windows keys. They're just racking in money from anything and everything, Apple products. They just, and to have gaming is growing socially, like
it is.
Like social standards.
I mean, a social standard. It's becoming more socially.
Exactly.
I mean, it's never been totally unacceptable, but I mean, it's definitely become more socially acceptable. More people have the ability to stream and stuff like that. So,
like, people can go to college for esports now. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
it's
seriously, it's becoming something where it's like you're seeing this everywhere.
So with them buying a game company like this, and like I said earlier, some of the biggest games, it's really going to open up a world of possibilities, because they'll make so much money from this that they will potentially in the future be able to buy these bigger companies, like we were saying, like Ubisoft, EA. Obviously that's if they're willing to be bought out. We don't know
exactly,
but I'm sure if the price is right and Microsoft has got that money, and I guess speaking of which, what is Microsoft's net worth, or worth in general?
Let me check really quick, because I didn't look at their actual net worth, but I'm sure it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's probably off the charts, bro.
What
is it? Let's hear it.
$1 trillion, over $1 trillion.
$1 trillion, like
that is absolutely insane.
What did we say that did we say what Sony's was?
Yeah, I've got that written down. Sony's like overall net worth is around $40 billion. I mean, it's sales every year. It goes well over $70 billion in sales every year.
But damn.
Exactly, and then Sony Music alone, that's one of the top 3 like music brands. I mean, obviously Universal is the top. But Sony Music alone is worth $7 billion, and that's nothing to scoff at. Yeah. But it's mind-boggling to know that a company is literally worth over $1 trillion.
Like that is
like,
crazy.
Like a tenth of the nation, the U.S. nation's debt, and like this literally this company has this much money to throw around.
And like I said, so now they get even more money. So I'm really excited to see where there is. I know a lot of people hate on Microsoft, and it's like it has its ups and its downs. But let's be honest,
definitely. But
you don't see people out here building a fucking Mac, to play. Even though I'm pretty sure Mac is still Microsoft. You get the gist of it though. Like,
right. I mean, you can add like Windows and shit to a MacBook and have it technically not be Apple, but I mean,
still, you got. That was a bad example, but you understand what I'm saying. It's like
exactly. People when they're going out and they're building PCs, like you're nine times. I don't know. I shouldn't even say that. Like literally, not 999 out of 1,000 times you're going to be building a Windows built machine.
Exactly, and so people want to shit on fucking Microsoft all the time, but it's like, without Microsoft, like PC gaming, I mean, you'll have the parts, but the software is kind of key to
exactly. And that's also in Microsoft's like kudos to them. They've built this up too. It's like they've been cornering the market for a while. I mean, they saw that gaming on PC back from the beginning. This is going to be big, so they also they've always had their machines since like the 2000s. They've had their machines that are capable and more capable of running video games.
Exactly.
So I guess I can. Oh, sorry. You got something else?
No. I was gonna. Yeah, continue. I was gonna say about next thing.
Oh yeah, no. I was just going on, and the next 2 points are kind of mixed into each other. But talking about just the longevity of Sony in the future, and we'll touch a little bit on Nintendo, though they're kind of in their own realm.
I guess it depends on what basis of Sony. Because Sony isn't just gaming, okay? And
exactly.
Microsoft isn't just gaming either,
huge.
Though. Microsoft has other products like your Apple, and just other shit. But Sony's got movies. Sony's got, like you said, music. Like, Sony isn't just but
they've got like a ton of. I mean, seriously, compared to Microsoft, I feel like I could be wrong in this, but I feel like they have a lot more hardware as well. Like they've got their laptops, they've got TVs, they've got headphones.
Exactly. Yeah.
They've got just like hardware, like just media hardware.
So it all depends on, like I said, because Sony, I think just based off of like gaming aspect wise, I definitely see Sony getting. And it's going to be really controversial, obviously, because I'm personally always been a fan of Xbox. But still, with that being said, I definitely don't see Sony being at the top in the future. At least in gaming-wise. Like I said, they have other great aspects as a company. But gaming-wise, I definitely don't see them there.
And like up until this point, I mean, even the sales projections still. I mean, obviously after today, everything could change, but the sales projections for the next consoles are still that PlayStation is going to win the console wars. That could change after today's announcement.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that's like why this whole like announcement with Zeinmax and Bethesda is huge, because it literally can can change people's minds on like what they're willing to pay, and also just the fact again that for the same exact price you can get the Xbox Series X, which is a more capable machine.
Exactly. Yes. Like I seen breakdown videos of the Xbox Series X, and first off, let me say they literally have SSD like that you can buy and plug into your computer. Not fuck Xbox.
Yeah,
And it's like literally like that big, and it just plugs into the back of it, and it's a SSD, like a terabyte SSD. So the fact that they're making this stuff, is just, it's
I mean,
awesome.
it really is. I mean, like, that was kind of the thing. They got a lot of shit last gen for the Xbox One being more of an entertainment center than a console in itself.
But let's be honest, isn't that what a console is in general?
Exactly, and like that's the thing, is like they kind of made that step forward, and I feel like it's taken people a little bit of time to catch up with that. But even with that being said, just the Xbox Series X, and I haven't looked too much into the Series S just because it's a little bit of a lesser.
Yeah.
It is seriously, I mean, it's almost like a freaking PC.
PC.
I mean, exactly. It really is. Like, this is built. Like, this is a strong console. This is a console that, I mean, barring any actual, like, hardware issues, like, this is something that you're going to be able to play for no problem for 10 years.
And I can see just with consoles in general, just progressively getting to that point to where it's like you're just buying a pre-built at that point, like, I mean, a tower, like, because consoles are starting to have mouse and key adaptability or compatibility. So the PlayStation was the first one to allow mouse and key on certain games, and they're starting to do it more and more. So at this point, you already got PC hardware inside of it. What's the difference, really, when it comes down to it, between console and PC? PC costs more, yes. It runs better, yes. And people can complain about that all that they want, but it's the truth. But then again, you can literally if you wanted to, you could set your PC up in your living room, hook it up to your TV, and use it like a console. You can play games with controller, you can watch movies. I mean, this isn't like, people like to complain about Xbox, PlayStation, and PC and the quote unquote console war, by the way. But it's stupid, because it's literally all the same. People who say PC is better than console and console is better than PC, they both have their pros and cons. But when it comes down to it, they're the same. They do the same thing. One has just slightly more precise functions than the other.
Exactly.
But
I mean, also, I mean, that's a give and take too, because I mean, you get those. I mean, obviously, since I've come to PC, I've had Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4.
Exactly.
PC
I've owned
now.
a PlayStation myself, by the way.
I personally would never go back from a PC, but I also now realize like, having a PC is very expensive to, like, have a high-end PC. Like, it's and then there is that little bit of things can go out of date a lot quicker on a PC.
Yeah, 100%. Like we were saying though, PC price. Like my rig back here, it cost me in total around, let's see, my graphics card alone was $600. So with that and the rest of the parts, I believe it came out to be around $1,400. And that even is considered pretty cheap for a PC.
Exactly.
So like, when you're getting into the high, stuff is getting cheaper as we go, but the basic thing is console is cheaper and PC is more expensive, and that's all that it really comes down to. I mean, and
the gap is closing too.
Exactly.
I mean, they are getting like, PCs overall are getting a lot cheaper,
and they're getting better parts too.
That's the thing.
And then consoles are getting better parts also themselves. So like I said, in the end, I really don't see there being too big of a PC
difference.
war anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's just getting back to, like, I guess, talking about like the longevity of, like, Sony overall is, I see them sticking around for a while. I don't think Sony itself is going to be around.
I don't think that'll ever go away.
Like we were saying, I'm pretty sure. I mean, possibly we can get into the next point a little bit of the possibility of Microsoft acquiring Sony / and or like PlayStation Network. that I think is a real possibility in the next like 15 years.
I think if they were going to do anything, they would acquire PlayStation Network.
Exactly, and I think that's what it would come down to. And again, that would also have to be that's Sony's baby too. I mean, they are breaking in 70 billion in sales in that alone, so it would have to be a hefty offer to take PlayStation Network.
And I feel like at that point though is like Sony would like if it was to ever happen, I definitely think at that point I don't know how to explain it. My thoughts is that like at some point or another, if that does happen, one console will just be created, you know, and then, or even if they didn't want to do that, you know, they could still have their diversity, you know, have an Xbox, have a PlayStation, but just have all multiplayer games crossplay, you know.
Yeah, no, that's true, and I think that's definitely something that. I feel like that has to happen eventually anyway.
It's at like, some point, it's gonna happen.
Like it's got to be. There's. I mean, that's the thing, and that's where I feel it's more Sony than Microsoft at this point. Like, just kind of like, hey, you know, we want our own thing. And it's just like, at this point, like people want to be able to play with each other. Like that's why games like especially I hate the game, but Fortnite. Like why I still jump on every once in a while is because I got friends on PS4 that play it. So it's like the ability to play a game, just a common game together, and that's why I'm excited for again, not to toot it, but Rogue Company, dude. Like that's why I think Rogue Company is going to be big, because once that goes free to play, I feel like a ton of people on PlayStation, I mean all over, are going to pick that game.
Like
up.
I said, we might be fucking, riding Microsoft's dick right now, but
anyways, no, exactly. But I mean, that's what it's got to get down to at some point. I'm pretty sure it's got to get to a point where, I mean, I feel like the consumers are at a point where everybody's kind of mature enough where like there's not as much of that console war anymore.
Yeah,
now it's everybody just people will like to play what they like to play, and I don't fault anybody for what they want to play. You want to play on console, especially you want to play on Xbox, you want to play on Switch, you want to play on PlayStation, you want to play on PC, but everybody also wants that ability to play certain games together.
And it's also getting to the point where it's getting cheap enough to where if you work a good job, if, you got the money, you can honestly pick up both, if it came down to that. It's at one point, and I'm not even flexing, literally, I used to work at like Subway, and I didn't make much money and whatnot, but at one point I owned 2 Xboxes, a PlayStation, and I would hop back and forth between them all the time, and it's because you can always find it cheaper. Someone may get tired of playing games, and then you can buy it. It's getting to the point where you can either play one or the other, or own both, or crossplay, and just where it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And I like that. I really do.
I mean, and when it comes to PC, again, just like a little snippet. I mean, just going back to how that price, that gap is like it's getting closer and closer. I mean, you can honestly get nowadays, a pre-built PC for $600-$800.
Yep.
And it's not. I mean, they're not bad systems. Like they're going to last you at least a few years, and like that's even before even just upgrading stuff. And you can upgrade stuff, and then that thing's gonna last even longer. So it's like, and then you can. That's why I like PC too. Is like you can customize it to like what you're going to play. Because if you don't need a super freaking high rig like I don't, like you can customize that.
And it's like, just in general, we're getting a little off topic, but I want to throw this out, is like with PC, prime example of stuff getting cheaper is the RTX 30 series. The RTX, I bought the 2070 when it first came out, and it was $600 and some dollars. That was for the 2070. Now the 3070 is gonna be $500 when it first comes out. So right there, that that's only like $100 and some, but not only did it drop in price, it increased in power. And that's like the biggest thing. They say a 3070 is equivalent to a 2080, and a 2080 was like, I believe, like $800.
Yeah, no, it was very expensive. I mean,
and then like the 3080 is, I believe it is $600. I believe, I'm not sure. $600, and it's equivalent to a 2080 Ti, which is $1,200. So right there, like that's half the price, and you're getting more power.
Mm-hmm.
So with as we progress, it's gonna be cheaper, and yeah, pretty much. And then now let's get back to topic of
Yeah. All right, cool. So, yeah, I guess just like the last point on this one is just touching on Nintendo and how they kind of fall into this whole thing. Nintendo's Nintendo. They've got their own thing going, and it, like, no matter what people say about the sales in the U.S., I feel, and I haven't researched this or anything, they are so big in Japan and just Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't see they're never gonna like go out.
No.
And like that's the thing is like they'll if they ever start like needing money, they'll do exactly what they have been doing, where they just offer something for an exclusive amount of time. Everybody jumps on it. Everybody buys it because they're afraid of exclusivity. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing.
Yes.
And
the big thing.
And they're fine. The thing is that company's not going under, and that hasn't gone under. It's not going to go under.
And the one reason I don't think Microsoft will be able to obtain Nintendo is because Nintendo, they know they're killing it.
Oh yeah.
First off, like you said, Japan and all like these countries in like Asia and whatnot. It's they're really big into mobile, not as in like phone mobile, but as in like playing on the go, handheld, all of this, so they're making, like you said, they're not making money here, but that's a huge thing over mm-hmm. there. And Microsoft is more like,
at home, home entertainment.
Yeah, exactly, at home. And so I don't really see Microsoft being, yeah, they can, if they were at all able to, buy them out, they could try to continue to do, what they do, but
yeah, like, I mean, and honestly, just like end it. I mean, really, the coming out with like the Switch Lite, and that mm-hmm. was obviously this a while ago now.
Yeah.
But again, just being able to have your system with you anywhere you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That is huge, and then especially mm-hmm. in like Southeast Asia and Japan, like that whole mm-hmm. the whole region there. I mean, and it's honestly, I mean, I've been back and forth on planes quite a bit, and I see people all the time with their Switches on the planes.
Oh,
so it's 100%. Like, and that's here where technically they're not doing as well. And I think, mm-hmm. like I said, like they're never going to go under because they know their consumers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And they know, and then obviously, I mean, something that's always going to be in their favor is the nostalgia factor. Even us being younger, we've still played Mario Kart. We've still played those like Super Nintendo games.
Just like all
exactly.
Those, like,
so it's like that stuff is, and that stuff's always going to hold like something in our hearts. But it's also mm-hmm. like that's something that's they've made sure that it has skipped a generation. It's gone to the next generation. Yeah. So it's like it's not something that's ever going to end.
Yeah. So let's talk about our final point then.
Money.
We might add one. Xbox. Well, first off, I did not know this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Game Pass is generating $6 billion a year. That. Yep. Wait a minute. What was that? Nearly the entire annual revenue of Activision Blizzard. What?
Yep. Exactly, and they are the most valuable third-party game publisher ever. Activision, the Call of Duty. The fact that Game Pass alone, so just a subscription service, is getting that much money, that's insane. And that again, that kind of looks towards the future, where it's like Microsoft. I feel like they've got it all, like got this all planned out. They've mm-hmm. got it all going for them. They know. They've got it. I think they've got like a 10-year, 20-year plan in place where they're going to take over.
I did not know. I didn't know that fucking Game Pass was killing it that much, bud. Like, and now that they own Bethesda mm-hmm. and Zeinmax, they can start to introduce those games into their Game Pass.
And exactly.
Which people would be like,
that's the thing
dude.
Is like they've got.
Like,
I mean,
shit,
I've already had. Like I'm pretty sure like Zeinmax. Like Bethesda and Xbox, they've always been close. Like they've always been close in getting things, and they were huge supporters of the Game Pass, which is why like you'll see some of their games already in there.
Yeah. So,
but the introduction of even all of these games that aren't in there, and I don't know, I don't have the Game Pass, so I don't know exactly what is in there. But I mean, getting games like Dishonored and Wolfenstein and Prey, and I keep talking about Prey because I love that game, but like all these games that previously for licensing issues or something, this, that, or the other thing. The fact that you can put them on Game Pass, spend whatever it is a month. I think it's only
exactly.
it's
Imagine
really cheap, and they always have deals on it too. Like every time you see, I think it's like $10 or $15 a month, but all the time you can get it for like $1 a month here, $8 a month there.
Discord,
like that's insane to have. I'm pretty sure it's like 50,000 titles on there.
Yeah, and then Discord also, if you buy Discord Nitro, which is like, $10 a month, and I do it because of many reasons, but there's a lot of people, and they give out, Discord actually gives out, like a 3-month membership, codes to people to the Game Pass, and just imagine that they put Bethesda Zeinmax games on Game Pass and being able to go and play imagine if they add all like the Skyrim, like not the Skyrims, that was so stupid. I actually fucking hate myself for saying the Skyrims. I hate it when people say that, so I hate myself right now. But playing the Elder Scrolls, for fuck's sakes, being able to play all the Elder Scrolls, all the Fallouts, all the Wolfensteins, it's just like all these really good games that people love, and for us, it's cheap.
Oh yeah,
$15 a month, and you
obviously,
play all these great games, at any time. I think I did not know they were killing it though.
Yeah, no, they are actually
that much. Like that's crazy.
They're doing well, and that's like my jaw dropped when I read those numbers. I was like, holy shit, that like the Game Pass alone's bringing in $6 billion a year. I was like, that is a ton, and again, like it's always, not something I would get into just because I like to actually own the games I have personally. But the thing is, like, having access to over 50,000 titles,
so many,
like that's insane. And like that's where Xbox Game Pass like did it right compared to like EA Access when EA Access came out. Because EA Access was, obviously it came out and there was only, when I started it back when I got my Xbox One, which is obviously like almost,
it was literally just like sports
years
games.
And years ago, but it was literally sports games. There was one Need for Speed, and then there was one Battlefield.
Yeah, it wasn't
so
much.
It wasn't worth it, and then they didn't really expand upon it too much. I don't think.
I believe Sony, doesn't Sony have something similar or no?
I don't know because I'm not up to date on it. Back when I had the PS4, they had PlayStation Plus, and that was like, that turned into a subscription service for like online. But for a while there, it was just having access to like games for free and stuff like that. I'm sure they have their own service. I'd imagine they would at this point.
All right. So with all this being said, pretty much, like I said earlier, with Microsoft buying out Bethesda and ZeniMax, it's definitely going to open up some huge options for Microsoft as a whole. And I'm really excited to see where they're going, and just like I said, I can't wait to find out if it's going to be exclusive. Let's be honest, it's most likely not.
Probably not, but
we never know, so we'll have to wait and see. So with all that being said, we're going to end the podcast here. We do hope that you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully next week we'll be releasing our podcasts. We're going to be doing them on our favorite games, and we're very excited because this podcast definitely has to do with them. So stay tuned to those, and we hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, thanks guys.